Hello and welcome to today's tutorial. I'm going to be teaching you how to create the suspension system of a car as well as the main chassis assembly. So we are going to have a ladder frame, which is the load carrier of a car. So this is the main component. This is where we attach everything else, the wheels and all other products above it. So the chassis assembly comprises of this ladder frame. The ladder frame is this main component you're seeing with some cross members, and this is the load carrier of the base frame of a car. And then we have also the front axle and the rear axle. We have the suspension system, which consists of some shock absorbers as well as the leaf springs. So before we start this tutorial, go down to the description box and click the Patreon link, and you're going to get your starter pack. So your starter pack is going to consist of the blueprints that you're going to need for this particular tutorial. It is also going to contain the transcript, and also I've made this detailed PDF that is going to explain to you into detail, give you more information about the chassis assembly of a car. So there you're going to learn about the parts of this assembly, the function of each part, and a little bit of history to show you the types of suspension systems, the types of, shock absorbers, from where we started with the vintage cars to where we are today. So it's going to give you a more in-depth knowledge about the car assembly. So if you're looking to become a mechanical engineer or a design engineer who wants to design products, real life products for manufacture, this is going to benefit you. It's going to give you a bit more depth, a bit of more information, so that before we dive into this tutorial, you're going to be well endowed. So as I said before, just click the Patreon link. Feel free to join any tier that suits you, whether you're a student, a junior engineer, or what have you. And then let's proceed. Now, because we are dealing with an assembly, obviously we are going to start with an assembly design. So you're going to go to Start, Mechanical Design, Assembly Design, and it's going to open the product workbench. In this product workbench, we can then insert parts to this product, and we can also add constraints to this product, but that will come later on. In this particular case, we want to bring in the blueprints because we are doing reverse design of an existing product. Or if you are an engineer, you might have some designed blueprint whereby a design engineer drew this particular product that you want to bring to life. So you have the 2D drawings, and now you want a 3D model. To do that, we need to move to the sketch tracer workbench. But the first thing, tip number 1, is to always make sure that you are in the parallel mode, not the perspective mode. So the perspective mode is as you would see it in real life. But when you're designing, if you are in ISO, the front view, the side view, the top view or bottom view, or whatever view, you need to be able to see that particular blueprint in the as it is on the side view. Okay. So the first thing, as I said, is go to view, render style, and change it from perspective to parallel. All right. Now that we've done that, we can go to the sketch tracer workbench. So you're going to go to shape and select sketch tracer. So you can see it switched the workbench tools and commands, and we want to bring in our blueprints. So those particular blueprints that you downloaded from Patreon and saved them in a folder, you're going to access them here. You're going to select this icon that says create an immersive sketch, and it's going to open up file selection. You're going to locate your folder with the blueprints, and you're going to select this particular blueprint that's called Alfa Romeo Spider 6E 1500 Supersport 1928 scaled. You're going to select this particular blueprint, double click on it, and we are going to start with the side view. So you're going to locate the views tab or the views icon at the bottom of your screen and select side view. You can see we've aligned to the side view. And now we are going to manipulate this particular, you can see it. We're going to manipulate it and bring it up to where we are starting our side view. So you want to make sure that this is at the origin. So feel free to zoom in. And then you can see we have the arrows that help you to move up or down. We're going to use the existing line to align the bottom side. Then we're going to move it to where this ladder frame begins. So not the wheel, but the ladder frame where it begins. You're going to align it like that. For the top part, this measurement doesn't actually really matter a lot, because once we scale the length, the width will also be scaled respectively. Then this is going to come all the way to the last part. And then the coachworks for this particular cars used to switch a little bit. So when you Google, you might find that the length and the width are slightly changing depending on who built the coachworks. But for a particular model, we are going to enter this as 4,000 millimeters. So our length of the car is going to be 4,000, but in this case, it's negative, because as you can see, we are going to negative X direction. So it's going to be negative 400. And as you can see, the height automatically changes. So depending on where you've put it, in this case, just put it at the edge of this particular blueprint. So this is the inside measurement, but also now for the view, the outer solid green line dictates the view that you will see. So you can actually bring this closer. And this one, like so. Just make sure it doesn't clip the side view. So that's going to be our side view. Once you're done, just select OK. And we have our side view. If you open up the applications tab, you can see we have the painting gallery, and this is paint number 1. Next, we need the top view and the front view. So we're going to repeat the same procedure, create an immersive sketch, but this time around we are going to go to the, say, the top view. We're going to select the top view, create an immersive sketch, select the same blueprint. Okay. Then we're going to bring this to the center. In this case, it's going to be at the center. Again, we have a line here that's going to guide us, like so. Then again, we're going to push this all the way to the edge of the ladder frame, where the leaf springs start. And then we're going to extend this up to where we have where the wheel ends. That is the back extra wheels. Then we're going to move this. This is going to dictate the width, and this is actually very important because in this particular case, I'm going to use the width, not the length. So I don't know if you can see, but this is the green line right here, where we have the spinner of the wheel. That is the rearmost, the end of the width. So this width, the total width is double this particular dimension. So this is going to be negative 815. Negative 815. The length is the same, it's 4,000, but because we are aligning this using our hands, that's why you see a slight difference, that is. So if you move this just a wee bit, you might see that it's approximately 4,000. But for the top view, I want to specify the width. Okay, so it's 815 times 2, which is 1630 millimeters in total. Now we're going to then adjust the view. So this is going to control how much we view, and then I'm going to align that line with the inner one, and then bring this down again close to that. I might leave a small gap, no problem. This is not affecting the measurement. And then the rear one, it should stay right where it is. Or maybe I can bring this a little bit closer like that. So we have 815 as the width, as half the width. Select OK. So if you go to ISO, you can see we have the side view and the top view. But now we have one problem. We need to rotate the top view to match the side view. That is, instead of going in the Y direction, it should go into the X direction. So you're going to double click on it. And you have a compass here to show you. If you can see the compass, you can go to View and select Compass. And then it's going to show up on your workbench. So on the compass, you can see this is the X direction. So you need this to go to the X direction, not the Y direction. So you can use rotation and just rotate this. To know if I am right. Then you can use this line to align it to make sure you're rotating 90 degrees. I'm going to check. Select ISO. Right, and now you can see both the side and the top are facing the X direction, or the negative X. Also, another thing you can check using the ISO is this is the center of the wheel, and they should align. The vertical and the horizontal line that is dictating the center of the wheels should align the same way with this one and this one. So it means if I draw a vertical line here and then connect it with a horizontal line, they should align. That tells you that the length are the same, or the aspect ratio of the pictures are the same. Lastly, let's create the front section. So again, create an immersive sketch. And then right here, select it. And then we're going to go to the front view. Front view. Then once again, it's going to be at the center. So you're gonna have to really try your best to make sure you approximate this correctly. You can try to zoom in as much as possible. I can see we have an ISO line here, an axis showing you the center. So you can even bring this closer to this at first and then just align it. Now that it's at the center, you can drop this and align the bottom one to where the car starts. Over that line, the top, we can leave it here, no problem, because again, we're going to use the width to set the aspect ratio. And then this one, it goes to the spinner right there. And then remember, this width should match this width, and it's going to be 815 to amount to 1630 millimeters, the total width of the car. So right here, I'm going to write 815. The dimensions are in millimeters. And then we are going to control the visible part just by bringing this closer. We can leave it here and here. The other part can stay as it is. Once you've done that, select OK. And now we have the three views. We have the front, we have the side, and we have the top view. These are sufficient for us to create 3D geometry. So as you can see, the top of this should be approximately where the top of this windshield is, where the wheels are, and what have you. Now the next thing to do is to make this a bit transparent, because when you're sketching, you need to see through these particular images. So using this drop down menu, the painting gallery, and we're talking about this tree, you're going to find painting 1, painting 2, painting 3, and we are going to select each, go to properties, graphic, and you're going to increase the transparency to about 100. 100 is usually okay. You can rename them if you want. For example, this is the side view. Then go to the second one, which is the top view. I'm going to attach also a shortcut PDF, a CATIA shortcut PDF, along with all the other documents on Patreon for your starter pack. So if you want to get a grasp of the shortcuts, you can look at them and then keep on practicing. This is going to be our top view. And we're going to add transparency to 100. Lastly, we have the front view. Add the transparency once more. And then for feature properties, we have, this is the front view. Once you have that, you can now move them. You can push this just by clicking on it. You can see there's an extra outline that shows. And if you hover over it, there are these arrows that allow you to push it on that side. Click on this one. Once again, there's an outline. When you hover over the corner, you can see there's arrows to allow you to move them. And the bottom one or the top one, actually, we're going to push it a little bit on the lower side. We might push it on the upper side once we have some geometry, but in this case, I'm just going to push it lower. And then on the center, that's where we're going to have our geometry. Now, this would be a perfect time for you to save your model. Make sure you save it however you want. So I'm going to save mine and then skip ahead. Okay, so I've saved mine as the chassis assembly. You can also come to this tree and you can label the product. Go to product, and this is going to be the chassis assembly. On the tips PDF, you're going to find some tips on how to organize your work, your parts, and your product separately to make sure you have a smooth, organized work as you continue adding on products to your model. Now our workbench is set. We can add our first part. We'll go to Start and switch from the Sketch Tracer workbench to the Assembly workbench. All right. And then you can select this product. And then on the side, you're going to select Add a new part. So right here we have part. We have existing component, part, product, and component. Select part. Or if you start by clicking part, then select the product where you want to add the part to. And then you can rename this. If you double click on the part 1, you're going to switch to the part design workbench. Okay, we can name it. We'll call the first part the ladder frame. All right. And once again, save. So this is a part product. As you can see, I've organized my work. I have the lessons here. We have the product and we have the part. So I'm going to switch to the part and I'm going to save the ladder frame dot cut part. So when you save the assembly, you can see it's dot cut product. But when you save a part is dot cut part, and you can be able to open this independently. So when you're dealing with different parts, we will be working with save management. So when you come here and say save management, it's going to bring up all the other parts that we are going to have, and you can choose whether you're saving the assembly. As you can see right here, we have the chassis assembly, and then here we have the ladder frame. So here you can save the chassis assembly, and it's going to update. All right, so before we begin sketching, we are going to sketch on the ZX plane. The ZX plane, this is where we're going to sketch our first. But as you can see, we've got the wheels here, and you can't really see this part of the cross section. So that's why on the starter pack, I've included another similar blueprint that belonged to the 6C750 in 1920. And this is because as far much as new versions of cars came up every year in the Alfa Romeo family, during the 1920s, the chassis remained relatively the same. So it's just the measurement, say the length and the width, that changed a little bit, very slightly, and the coachworks and the engine. So mainly when they brought in a new version, it meant a different engine, say the 8C or the 6C inline, and also let's say the position of the tank and the coachworks. But the main frame, the chassis, kind of remained the same. So I've included this so that you can see, you can cross-check to be able to plot the profile. And you can see the profile starts here by sloping downwards at the front, and then we have a relatively flat profile. And then right at the center of this wheel, because we've got that pumpkin, the differential pumpkin, we've got this curved section that goes upwards and then it ends here. So with this, you can be able to estimate where it goes. So from here, you know that it goes upwards as such, and then it goes downwards, and then it joins this one. And then here we go front, and then right after where we have these headlights, it slopes downwards. So it's a slope, and then straight, and then when we get here, it goes up and down. Now we're ready. Let's go. So we will sketch. Our sketches will definitely go to the geometrical set. This is the default unless you've changed the settings. So we'll just select the ZX plane and sketch. We can start with lines and then add the corners for the slopes. Don't know why it's freezing. I've got a lot of heavy softwares running in the background, so pardon me for that. And I'm going to start from this rear side. You're going to select profile. Now, if your workbench is not displaying these icons here, you can manipulate them. And on the PDF that I'm going to include, it's got that section on how you can manipulate these toolboxes to get the one that you want. So feel free to visit that if you're a beginner and you need more guidance on that. But anyway, you're going to select the profile. And then right before where we have this attachment, right before we get this attachment, we're going to begin here. And I was thinking, I was actually thinking of using this as a curve, but then again, I don't know. Let's try with the lines first. And then if we feel that doesn't work out well, we can use this as spline, or maybe we can start with the spline. Let's actually go with the spline because it's a bit more curved, so we can get that nice curvature. So it goes like that. And then we're going to have a corner here. So I'm going to try and push it upwards a bit. Right? Then we're going to select profile. We will start it from here. Again, when you add a corner, it goes upwards. So that means you need to go a bit lower. Like that. And then we're just going to have, I'm going to have a straight line running, a straight line running to the front of the headlight stand. Let me push it up to here. And then it goes up to here. Then we've got the width. So if you check the image, we've got a bigger curve on the lower side. And it's slimmer too towards the end, towards both the ends. So we're going to, you can see the line here. Or let's just make it all the way to here. Then we've got this section. And then it slims down. Then we start here with the curve. We're going to make a similar one. Up to that point. So you can now adjust it. This should be lower. So I'm checking this point as I move this. I'm checking this part as I move this point to make sure I get the curvature. Hold on, let me undo that. Okay, I move this point until I see we've maintained this curvature. And then I'm going to use a line to complete it. I don't know why my app is lagging too much right now. Okay, not bad.